Okay, so I'll try to be quick with this intro. I was putting together my VODs of Paper Mario 64. I did a stream playthrough that was essentially chalkboard percent. Um, I was having issues with the encoding, so I wasted a bunch of time doing that, and I just couldn't get it to work. So I got rid of all that stuff, and somebody was asking me about some information on OBS, so I thought, why don't I just make kind of like a video quickly going through, hey, this is how I have my OBS set up. I had a Twitter thread like this before, but I got rid of it just because I felt like it was a bit outdated. So this is just kind of unrehearsed, unprepared, just me slapping stuff together, unprofessional, trying to be no thrills and get through it quickly. So I do hope this helps. Okay, so I want to preface step 6 really quick. So we're going to go to File, we're going to go to Settings, then we're going to go to the Audio section. And over here we have desktop audio and desktop audio too. Sorry about that. These are going to be like your playback devices, and essentially imagine whatever plays in those playback devices is what's going to be picked up on OBS. So if I were to set, let's say my Kraken X headset, this is, picking up the headphone part. If I set it to this, whatever is set to play to my Kraken X will play, it will be picked up and it will be recorded. Same as with my monitor, since I changed speakers, high definition audio device to have that name. I'm gonna show you how I have Discord and desktop audio split. I'm using Voicemeeter Banana. I'll show you a few images in a second. Down here we have the mic and auxiliary audio, 1, 2, and 3. 1 doesn't have a number on it, but yeah. I renamed my microphones to the appropriate names. So my Kraken X, for example, since it's a headset and it has a microphone, instead of microphone high definition audio, it's just Kraken X. I might want to label that slightly different. But now we're going to go down to here to monitoring device. I have this set to my Kraken X, so if I want to monitor certain things that are playing, it just goes into my headset. It doesn't come out of my speakers. Okay, so I guess this will be step number 9. I'm gonna play an audio mixer and show you how I have my microphone and other audio devices set up. So let's start off with the Kraken X. I'm going to right click it. I'm gonna go click on filters. The first audio filter I have is noise suppression. This is me without it. This is me with it. I would suggest starting at -10. Test out how that sounds, do like some recordings, record yourself after you set up noise gate and gain and limiter. I would suggest messing about with that, and then here's -20, here's how I sound. It's gonna be different for different people. -30, I go all the way to -60. Some people use noise suppression audio filters to get more beyond -60. The next thing you're going to do is noise gate. So what a noise gate does is essentially your microphone's going to be muted until something is loud enough to make it unmute itself. You might want to make sure the close and the open threshold are 8 decibels apart. And it might be a little too high for some people, like starting off with the default, so they'll just be cut off. you want to test this for sure to make sure you're not actually being cut off when you speak. So I stick with -42 and -36. Feel free to try that and then go lower or go higher, because if it's too low, things in the background that you normally wouldn't want picked up get picked up. If it's too high, you don't get picked up at all. With gain, this can be used to make yourself quieter or louder. I like to try, whenever I'm speaking, I try to, if you pay attention to my cursor down here, there's this little, you can see the -10. I like to try to break past that a little bit into the red with my normal speaking voice, so that way I can make sure I am being audible. If you're too quiet, no matter how loud, how high up people turn you up, they still might not be able to hear you. So it's okay to be a little bit on the louder side, and people can turn that down or have it turned down, because I don't want to show up to a stream and then I had to put it up all the way, I can barely hear it, then they raid someone, and then, or they raid someone, an ad plays, and then it just destroys my eardrum. So anyways, I have a limiter, so that way no matter how loud I get, if I'm speaking like this, much louder than I just was, no matter how long I do that or how loud I get, it's not going to go and peak. It's not going to hit that 0. So yeah, let's go over to what my desktop audio is, which is going to be the aux VAIO. Right click that, filters. I like to have a recording gain. It's off because I'm not recording anything on my desktop, but if I'm recording a game, I'll turn off streaming gain, I'll turn off streaming limiter, I'll turn on recording gain, and I'll make sure that the audio is quiet, and then when I go to Adobe Premiere Pro, I'll put the audio up. I'll figure out what is the peak amplitude, and the peak audio is going to be audio gained enough to meet that 0.0 peak, so everything just sounds natural, but also, or rather everything, yeah, I guess it's a little hard to explain, but that way the audio is clear and loud, and people can turn it down if they need to. Yeah, I have a streaming gain of -12.1. I want to make sure that whenever I'm speaking, my audio is usually around 12 decibels quieter than that. Because audio levels are going to fluctuate, so the loudest I'm ever going to be is 0.1. Assuming that the game gets as loud as it's ever going to be, it should be at -12.1, because there's that 12 decibel difference between me being at my loudest and the game being at the loudest. Some people like to make sure that this would be at -30, and whenever they're speaking, they're not peaking past -18. I feel like that's a little too quiet, but that's a decent standard to go by. I have a subtracting gain whenever I want to take away volume, because sometimes, let's say I'm listening to YouTube, and the song is a little too loud, and for whatever reason I'm not messing with putting the volume up and down on the YouTube video. I can just use subtracting gain to make that quieter. It's the same thing with recording gain, basically, subtracting and recording. Yeah, the adding gain just makes things louder if something's a little too quiet. The limiter is there to make sure that things don't peak past that 12.1, no matter how loud it gets. And then Discord, I kind of have it set up similarly to I just have a recording gain if I'm recording someone, and I have their audio track separate. A streaming gain, if they're too quiet, I can boost that up, or yeah, I want them to be at a certain level in my ear, but they're too quiet on the stream because they're barely passing the red. Okay, I'll boost them up by 6 decibels. Then I'll have that limiter to make sure whoever joins doesn't destroy everybody's eardrums and messes with the audio. So yeah, I guess that's step 9. Okay, so I guess we'll just be going over video capture devices for part 10. So you hit the plus sign, you hit video capture device. I already have one up here, so I'm gonna right click, click on properties. I'm gonna select the device. So this is just a webcam. We'll start off with my webcam. Click that. Click deactivate when not showing. I like to click on custom for resolution type and FPS. I'll set the resolution to 320 by 240 or 4 by 3. You can generally select the FPS. The max that this one goes is 230 FPS. Hopefully I can find a 1080p camera 60 FPS for a reasonable price, but fuck. So video format, I usually just set it to any. It's usually, it covers itself. Whatever. Color space, make sure this is set to 704. For color range, make sure this is partial. The buffering auto detect, I usually leave that on. You can flip it vertically if you want to turn that upside down. So you can also apply rotation data from camera if any. I usually don't mess with this. So, and then I have this set as capture audio only. Just hit OK. And then my webcam's microphone isn't very good, and I'm not going to use it. I just click that, and then you can just choose to hide it. Now we're going to unclick that, and we're actually going to use a different capture device, video capture device. We're going to use my game capture. So video capture device, hit OK. I'm going to select that. That's the Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus. You can't see it right now, so let me go ahead and try and make this teeny and tiny. There you go. We're going to put that right there. You can see video capture device. Okay, so go back to custom. I like to have it's a 16 by 9 capture. I'll put it to 1920 by 1080. Right. If I want to downscale it, I'll downscale it. Just because I want it to be at 1600 by 900 and not 720 and have to upscale it when I'm doing my 16 by 9 scene. So resolution 1920 by 1080. FPS I'll do 60. Video format I just leave to any. Color space 709. Color range partial. Buffering I left that to auto detect. I don't need to flip it vertically. Apply rotation camera from any. I don't really know exactly what that does. I have capture audio only selected, and then I click on use custom audio device. And then what I want to do is I want to select what is the microphone for that device, which would be the Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus camera. Microphone. It would be the Live Gamer Portable 2 Plus microphone. I hit OK. And then you see right here, oh hey, it's making noise even though the game capture is not actually on or like making noise or anything like that. So I'll just go to filters. I'll go to audio video filter effect. I'll go to noise suppression. Change it to speaks, and then I'll try to figure out, okay, what's gonna get this to 0? It looks like 22. Okay, so then I'll have that noise suppression there. I'll add a gain just temporarily, and then I'll mess with that as need be. And then a limiter, I don't want that to be louder than that. And there you go. You can make it big, you can make it kind of whatever size you'd want. If you were going to downscale something, right click on here, or you can just right click here. You can go to scale filtering, and then if you're making it smaller, click on LANC. If you are going to make it bigger, so for example, let's say it's to see what's the smallest. 640 by 480 would be smallest. Let's reset that. I'll oh, I want this slightly bigger. I'm going to go to edit, transform. Let's make this 56 and then 9 right there. Bam. Okay. We're gonna go scale filtering, and then we're gonna go bicubic. So that's how you do that. Okay, so for the final video, I guess I'll just do a little rapid fire of some of the sources that I use. So for example, one of the sources that I use is the browser source, and it's a pretty powerful tool. Let me open up browser source real quick. Or make one real quick. You just slap in a URL, you can choose the size, you can control the audio via OBS, which is useful for widgets like alert box. You can have it to shut down source when not visible, which I suggest, and refresh browser when scene becomes active, which I also suggest. So let's remove that. For example, if we go over to Streamlabs, you sign in and all that stuff, you go to the dashboard, you go to all widgets. There's a bunch of different widgets that you can choose. Alert box is popular, chat box is popular, donation goal is popular, viewer count. So here's what alert box would do. There you go. It just played sound. I'm not sure that got picked up, but it played sound. It played the little animation that I have there. I also have a filter on this, so I right click it, have a filter. I have a gain on it, I have a limiter on it, and then I have a render delay, so when it actually pops up will be 60 milliseconds afterwards. That render delay can be useful in delaying something so that things sync up. Discord widget capture, so if I'm in a Discord call, that gets you can see who's in the call and all that stuff. So again, I have viewers count, I have a chat box, I have pre-stream text. So I just hit plus, hit text, okay, type in whatever I want. I can select the font to be whatever I want that I have available. So I can select the size. I can change the color. Background color is not really needed. You can add an outline, and you can change whatever color you want that to be. So let's do like that, I guess, and then we can have a somewhat thick outline like that to help that pop up. Move. Oh, I have this text set up is I have filters, and then I add a scroll effect. There's a lot of different neat effects that you can have in regards to that. Right, so that's how that's set up, or that's how I have that set up. Get rid of that. Display capture is of course what I'm displaying right now to you. I have a BRB text. There's the game capture, and that's pretty self-explanatory. There's a Windows capture. That's also pretty explanatory. We talked about video capture devices earlier. I have a slideshow here. It's you just hit plus, image slideshow. It's very self-explanatory. Just mess around with that as need be. Donation goal widget, scrolling text right there. This one's pretty interesting. So I use Nintendo Spy. Whenever I put in my controllers, I like to boot this up. Click on this, NGC, there we go. I have a GameCube controller right there. So let's go to this. Let's click on this, view window, bam. And you can see that like normally there's a little, black box right there. What I did to get rid of that, you can right click it, filters, I have a color key, and then I just have the color key set to black, similarity 1, smoothness 50, just these settings. I'll give you a few seconds to look at them, and there you go. Hope you guys can see them well. I have another one for my other controller, an image source. So images are interesting. or that. Okay, so I'm going to make images interesting instead of just, oh, image boring. I'll show you a few things that you can do. So we'll take this about me. You can unload image when not showing, yada yada yada. If you want to resize things, you can grab this. If you want to reset that, you can go to reset, right click it, reset transform. You can go right click it, hit edit transform. You can change the size to whatever you want. So I want 640 by 320, and then I want to crop out 10 pixels from there, 80 pixels from the right, 100 pixels from the bottom, whatever I want to do, you know, all that stuff. If you are making something smaller, right click it, hover over scale filtering and click on LANC. I don't know how to pronounce that, I just call it LANC. Or if you're making it larger by cubic, if you're not doing anything to it, just you don't need a filter for that. Let's remove image. To do a color source. So right there, it's just you hit the plus sign, color source, pick a color, any color, there you go. You can choose the size. So let's make this 100 by 100 so you can see that. Choose the size, you can save all different colors. Could be useful. Or rather, I use it. You'll soon see how everything kind of moves together. Ah, where's my display capture? There you go. And that's kind of how I have that set up. If you have any questions in general, just leave a comment and I'll try to respond to it. Or I'll tell you, hey, look at that instead, please. Oh, and one thing I almost forgot to tell you about. So, let's say, hey, I have my capture, I have my, you know, video game capture and all that set up. I want to hear what's coming out of that game. So what you want to do is you want to right click, and then you can have monitor off, which means it doesn't get picked up. It's not going to be going to, in my case, in my headphones. I can have monitor only where you guys will not hear it, but I will hear the game. And then I have monitor and output, which lets you hear the game, while I also hear the game through my headphones. So yeah, I remembered one final thing I can shove into this video, Adobe Premiere Pro. Okay, so file, here's some of my settings. So I go to file, export, media, preset. I have two presets that I mainly use, a 1080p 60 fps preset and a Twitch VOD to YouTube preset. For the 1080p 60 fps, assuming this is a standard definition video, I just have the height and width match the source, frame rate should match the source, which is usually 60, field order match the source, aspect ratio or aspect square pixels, which is generally what the source is. Hardware encoding, set the profile to high, keep the level whatever the source is. I set my bitrate encoding to VBR1 pass 14.01. Keyframe distance should be half of whatever the FPS is, so 30. Audio I set to AAC. AAC codec 48,000 kilohertz, or sorry, 48 kilohertz. Sample rate channel stereo. Audio quality high. Bitrate 320. And then precedence is in the bit rate rather than the sample rate. If I'm doing, you know, a Twitch VOD to YouTube, the video will match source, which, because usually my VODs are, you know, 720p. Frame rate, all that stuff, pretty much all the same. What you want to change would be the VBR pass. I have it VBR 1 pass 7.5. Same keyframe distance. Bit rate for the audio should be 128. And sample rate should be 44.1 kilohertz. So yeah. Alright, so I guess that's everything, and I'll just end the video there. I hope it helped, and I hope it was quick and not full of fluff. Bye.